Yeah, hey, what's going on, Inspirators? It's your boy, Tony D, TonyDoyleInspires.com, and we are coming back at you once again with another video. Appreciate you guys for tuning in to the Inspirate channel today. As always, we have something special, and if you've been following us the last few days, we are in the middle of a discussion of the book called The 5 Love Languages. So we are talking about love language number 3 today. So for those of you who do not know and have not been following, The 5 Love Languages is a book by Dr. Gary Chapman. It was written back in 1995 and has gone on to be lots of accolades and basically be accepted as the Bible when it comes to relationships. The book is specifically written to be read in a lot of different ways. Primarily, first and foremost, it is a love relationship book, so it's physical partners, but can also be read as family members, can be read as business partners, friendships, those type of things. Okay. Subsequently, since the success of this book, it has actually gone on, and there's a lot of spin-offs. All of those have great value to them. So we are in the process of going through that, and we are on love language number 3 today, receiving of gifts. So first and foremost, before we get all the way into this, if you have not already, please do me the great favor of subscribing to my channel. Hit that little bell symbol too. That is the notification symbol to let you know every single time when we put out new content. And we are dedicated to putting out a new video every single day to keep you inspired, motivated, and really appreciating the abundance that surrounds you, right? And kind of how we can vibe up that, keep your vibrations high. So do that. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Actually works with the algorithm in YouTube, different than Facebook or any other algorithm. The YouTube algorithm, when you give it a thumbs up, it'll actually help like-minded people like yourself who may actually be interested in this video, didn't know to subscribe. It will suggest the video to them. So it's a really great way to spread this. As always, the best way is to forward this video out directly. So feel free to share this with friends, post it on other social media outlets, those type of things. And we appreciate your interaction with this. So comment down below as we go through if this is something that applies to you, or to maybe to your mate, or to someone you know. Maybe one of your kids, this is really high on their list. This is one, and we'll get specifically into it, but this is one that there are a lot of blocks in the spiritual community regarding this. And not so much does that mean that we don't have that, but there are a lot of blocks about admitting that this is one of the things that we really enjoy in our life, right? And you'll see about it. So all this business out of the way, let's get into the meat of it. We are talking about the 5 love languages. We are on love language number 3, receiving gifts. Okay, according to Dr. Chapman, just in summary, there are 5 love languages. There are words of affirmation, there are acts of service, there's the receiving of gifts, there's quality time, and there's physical touch. Those are the 5 love languages. We have a specific video on each of those, so please feel free to binge watch all 5 of those videos. We've got an introduction video, and we've also got what we're calling the love language quiz video, which helps you determine specifically maybe what your types are, and kind of how you can use that to help strengthen your relationship. So identifying your own types and your partner's types, and being able to communicate those things. Okay, so feel free to watch all that. We're right in the middle of a whole week of videos on this topic. So let's get into number 3, the receiving of gifts. So contrary to popular belief and what it may sound like, the receiving of gifts, this love language is not necessarily materialistic, right? It just means that a meaningful or thoughtful gift may make you or your partner feel more loved and appreciated. Okay, and as I like to tell you, all these 5 things are best seen not independently but on a continuum. So it's more of a scale as to which things are most important, and we talked a little bit in some of the other videos about sometimes it depends on what the expectation of us is already in the relationship. So whether it be a business partnership or a physical one, right, or emotional one. So that being said, like I said, the receiving of gifts, we're talking about thoughtful gifts, something that may make your partner or yourself feel more loved and appreciated. It could be something as simple as picking up a pint of the favorite ice cream somebody might like to make a huge impact. Also, small work gifts. Think about that. Some supervisors are really good about giving out small things like that, and it can make a big difference, right? Okay, so this is different than acts of service. All right, so an acts of service is where you show affection by performing actions, okay, to help your partner, or you like to see actions, community service, those type of things, okay? If one of your top love languages is the receiving of gifts, that means that you feel love from the small little presents that your partner pick up. Simple as that. Okay, do you feel extra loved when when your partner picks up a little present for you? Or does your partner feel loved? Okay, so think about it like that. What is your partner like? So many people may assume that receiving gifts is materialistic, like we talked about at the beginning, and all about the item, but it's not necessarily true that it's the specific item. It's the thought behind it that counts, right? We all have a certain thing, and when we share our likes, our loves, maybe something that's happened in the past with our partner, we like for them to remember those things and to be able to at some point recall that and rekindle those thoughts and emotions with a little small token, right? So if that is one of your top 5, this is going to be one of your things. So we're going to explain the receiving of gifts as a love language. Okay, we'll look at a couple examples and maybe give a few date night games as we have been doing along the way. Okay, and like I said, we do have this quiz coming, this grand culmination in video 6. So stay tuned for that. We're going to go through all this and lay down the tracks to begin with. Now, like I said in the very beginning, I do want to say that in the spiritual community, we have been taught. And we talked about this in the intro kind of extensively, but we have been taught that it is not proper, that it's egotistical to receive or to allow others to show love in this way. Okay? Now that fights against our natural instincts in a lot of ways. Most spiritual practices are not like this, but a lot of religious practices are. Okay? So I'm not here to judge one way or another. But it is important for you to tune into what your actual true feelings are. Because if receiving of gifts are one of the things that really get you excited and show you love, and you're denying that of yourself, it's going to be hard for anyone to ever prove to them, or prove to you that you're loved, right? Because you're not going to allow it. Same thing for other people. So it may not apply to you. May apply to your partner who was raised in a certain religion, does not know how to accept presents or things like that. They may be really good at giving out acts of service or gifts, but they may not be good at receiving, right? So let's talk about receiving gifts. All right. So they say a picture is worth 1,000 words. Well, in some respects, the same can be true for those little items that you may present to your partner, right? The more meaningful they are, it doesn't necessarily have to cost a lot, but the more meaningful they are, the more weight they will carry, okay? One of these gifts may hold a lot of sentimental value, right? So It may remind them that you're thinking of them, or that you think beyond the physical item itself. Once again, like, it may be something that they shared with you when you guys first started dating, about something that their mom used to say to them, or something like that, right? So it's the sentimental, it's the thought behind the gift, more so than the cost of the physical gift, right? All right, so let's look at an example. We always like to look at examples. Today, let's look at Jane and John. Let's say that John sees a candy bar that he hasn't had since he was a little kid. Okay? There are many food memories attached to this candy, and it always used to make him happy. I'm sure we all have something like that. I know back in the day, it's funny, but back in the day there was this candy called Bit of Honey. Are you guys familiar with that? I used to love that as a little kid. I don't know why, but that was my little honey flavored treat there. So think about that. All right. So one day Jane surprises John with the candy bar, along with a simple little love note. Okay. The feelings that come along with the item go way beyond the item itself, right? It's no longer about the candy. It's the fact that Jane remembered that this was special to him. So now he's tying old memories with new ones, and it carries a lot more weight, right? He's feeling loved. He's feeling grateful that Jane really heard him and remembered that thing, and really went out of her way to surprise him with that. And then she tied it together with a little love note, right? So that she was able to relate that to his childhood experiences, okay? So that's part one. Part two, let's say that Jane's been super busy at work, okay? She's been getting a lot of headaches and holding a lot of stress in her neck, right? Noticing this, she may have mentioned it a couple times when they're going for bed or whatever. John decides to surprise her with a stress-free kit. Okay, he goes out and gets a kit. It includes some headache medicine, a bath bomb, and a new electric shoulder massager for a relaxing evening at home. Right? Okay, so sure, all the items may physically help Jane, but it's the power of the gift goes beyond, right? So the sum are greater than its parts. Okay, Jane feels noticed. She feels heard, okay, that her feelings are important, John. She knows that John will do whatever he can to take care of her, but he has, what they say, put his money where his mouth is, right? So she feels heard. So on top of feeling the physical relief, there is a mental element to that as well. Okay, so if your partner's primary love language is the receiving of the gifts, remember, it's not all about the item itself or the cost. It's about showing the effort and proving that you're thinking of them and you're listening and you really deeply care for them. Okay, so simple enough, the receiving of gifts. And like I said, sometimes there are innate beliefs that make this one a hard one, especially in our spiritual community. But I challenge you to be true to yourself, and if this is something that excites you, please let it be known so that someone can do that for you. Allow someone to love you in that manner if that's the way you like to be loved, right? So let's talk a little about a date night activity. You know how, if you've been following these videos, we always like to include some strategies, some implementation tactics. Okay, so let's break down day by day of a week, and we're going to tell you exactly what kind of item to pick up for your partner. Okay, so now this is a good time. I don't know when you're viewing this video, but here we are going into Thanksgiving and Christmas. Lots of times there's like a Secret Santa thing going on. So this is kind of like a little Secret Santa exercise that you can do anytime. It does not have to be at Christmas. It could be any time at all. But basically we're going to give you a little strategy for the week of some ideas of something you could do if your partner's love language, if you determine that one of their highest love languages is the receiving of gifts. Okay? So just to break it down real quick, we're going to show you how easy and simple it is, okay? So what we're going to say is there's a $5 spending limit, okay, because we don't want to be about the cost, and because I want to really show you that it's the thought behind the gift, okay. So it's not going to be out of the price range. It's not going to be so super far out of the normal routine or hard to pick up, any of those kind of things, okay. So let's just talk about it. So here's an idea of a nice Secret Santa type of week, which you could implement anytime. Doesn't have to be Christmas. I'm just saying Secret Santa because of the time period we're in. But it's kind of that concept, if you guys know what I'm talking about. So on Monday, we're going to call this the first date gift, okay? Find something small to give your partner that reminds them of your first date, okay? You can be somewhat loose with the definition, okay? If you had ice cream on your first date, maybe it's a scoop of the favorite flavor. If you went bowling, maybe it's a bowl of their favorite soup, okay? Be simple, but be creative, and then be able to tie that together either with a little love note or to be able to explain it face to face, right? Okay? So that's the first date gift, and I suggest you start out with that. Maybe on a Monday or something, right? Okay? What about Tuesday? We do a word play gift, okay? Head to the store and pick up 1 or 2 items whose brand name or product type represent how you feel about your partner, okay? So if they make you feel happy, pick up a bottle of Joy soap maybe, right? Or if being with them makes you feel satisfied, pick up a Snickers. Get Snickers satisfies, right? So once again, be super creative, be fun, and then be ready to explain to them how this ties in, okay? Maybe make a game of it and see if they can guess it before you give it away, okay? Give them 3 guesses or something. All right. On Wednesday, what about this? What about a Make My Life Easier gift, okay? So on Wednesday, you could surprise them with something small that would make their daily life a little easier. So if they're a writer or they like to write, maybe pick up a pack or 2 of their favorite pens, really smooth writing. If they like to use pencils, get a nice pack of new number 2s, sharpened and ready to go. If there's somebody who likes to do yard work, maybe pick up a new tool or sports strength, right? Something like that. The trick with the Make My Life Easier gift is to explain why you chose that item, okay? As with always, it's all about how you relate it to the person, because once again, it's not the item itself, it's the thought behind it, right? All right, so what about on Thursday? You have a gift that we're going to call the Drinks Up gift, okay? Now don't go there, I know what you're thinking. What we're going to say is we're going to pick up our partner's favorite beverage for dinner that night, okay? You know your partner better than anybody, so make it something that they really like, whether that's alcoholic or not. It might be alkaline water. For me personally, alkaline water is actually my favorite drink. So someone who knows me, my partner would definitely know that of me. But you could even get bonus points for putting it in a special glass or something that has other sentimental value to them. So either a special glass they have now or something else that would tie in. Maybe you went on a honeymoon vacation to Maui and you guys saved the margarita glasses. Maybe you could serve it in that. Okay, so double value there, right? And then on Friday, we're going to do something really fun and creative called the junk gift. Okay, so this time I'm going to send you out to the junk drawer or between the couches. So this is going to be a scavenger hunt in your own house. Okay, underneath the car seats, whatever it takes, you're going to find a small gift for your partner. Okay, so like I said, there's no real rules to this. We want this gift to be fun on its own, okay? So whatever you find, have it tie back into the relationship somehow, right? So what is that going to be? You know what I mean? It may be your child shaker. You may have your child may be 6 or 7 at this point, but you may still have little small toy stuffed animal or shaker from when she was a baby, or it's just all kind of different things might be in there, right? Think about a junk drawer or maybe like a tool drawer. Anything that you have in there you can tie back to your relationship, especially if it's something that ties back to another good memory that you could tie in, and you could be able to explain to your partner why it is that that is a special item and how they make you feel, right? So it's all about showing that love and appreciation, okay? And like I said, when we get to the 6th video, we're going to talk about even more specific ways, if you haven't already, to identify your own top love languages and that of your partners, your friends, your families, and even your business partners and things that you hang out with as well. So stay tuned for that. Hopefully this video was helpful to you and you guys enjoyed that. And it's just day 3. We've got 2 more of these, and then like I said, we'll tie it together with a quiz. And block out the camera there. We'll tie it together with a quiz at the end. But hopefully this is informative for you. The 5 love languages, as always, if you have not picked it up or read it, I do suggest you do that. As always, do your own research. I'm telling you, it's got tremendous value. As I shared with you on the intro video, everything in this world is about relationships, okay? It's all about how we relate to other people. We're not here, even if we're an introvert, we're still not here on our own. And in fact, some of our own blockages, when we can overcome those and find a better way to communicate, such as picking up on one of these 5 styles, and it makes everything a lot easier. So that being said, I'm going to wind up this video, okay? So stay tuned again tomorrow. As I said, we will be going through 2 more, and got quality time to go tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be great. And then we'll do physical touch finally on Friday. So stay tuned for all of those things. And as always, like I said, if you have not, please, please, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel, okay? Subscribe, give us a thumbs up. It sends it out into the YouTube universe as a suggested video to like-minded friends. And we are trying to share this NSPR8 channel with the world. So help us out with that. I appreciate it. Or, like I said, you can always just send it out directly. Post it to your story, timelines, feeds, pages, groups, whatever you'd like to do. We appreciate any of the help we can get in spreading the news, the good news of inspiration, right? All right. Thanks for tuning in once again, Inspirators. Until tomorrow, when we come back with another great video, I am suggesting and encouraging you to look around, because if you're not inspired already, you're just not appreciating enough. We are abundant in so many ways. Look around, get something to appreciate, and I promise you will raise your own vibration. All right. Peace, Inspirators. We'll see you tomorrow.